Are your emails landing in the spam folder, or are your open rates dropping and dropping and dropping and you have no idea what to do? Welcome to this video. I will share all of our email deliverability protocols that we use for all of our clients. I will go through the technical setups, I will go through the email strategies, and I will also show you the reason for you landing in spam so you can never ever run into that again. So without further ado, let's start immediately. So welcome to this video. I'm going to go through everything you need to know about email deliverability. As I said, I will go through technical aspects, examples, case studies, and what to follow, what protocol, and also explain why you're landing in spam in the first place. Because once we understand how things work, it's pretty easy to actually not land there where you're currently landing and actually make more money. So without further ado, let's start immediately. But before doing that, why should you think about deliverability in the first place? Obviously, you're right now in spam or something like that, but let's start thinking about why deliverability is such a big leverage when it comes to your email list. So let's say you have a list of 15,000 people and only 15% of them open your emails. So right now you have 2,250 who actually open, and then out of these 2,250, 2% click through. That's like 45. 45 people clicked and went to your website. If you have a 2% conversion rate on your page, you're lucky if one person buys. Now let's take another examples, and instead of 15% of people opening, now 60% open. I'm picking these numbers because that's what we did for sweatandmilk.com. You can see the case study on the page on ecommerce.com. You can go through that. It's like a super in-depth thing, and I also have a video version. But actually, I just wanted to show you proof here because you can. I can always talk a lot, but I actually did that. So here you can see here we went from 17% to 60.8%, and like 8,400 people to 25,000 people in between, like, what is it, 2 months? Not even. So that's our entire deliverability protocol, so you know what I'm talking about, and we actually did that for clients. That's basically why we should pay attention to email deliverability in the first place. So the better the deliverability, the more people open your flows, the more people open your campaigns, the more eyeballs, the more money, and that's what we want to. So if you follow the guidelines in this document, in this video, I will guarantee you strengthen your deliverability and you stop finally hitting the spam folder. But before jumping into this one, let's actually take a look in why you're landing in spam. And it's pretty easy and it's pretty simple, and it actually makes sense if you think about senior reputation. So senior reputation is pretty much like your scorecard when it comes to, do I land in the spam or not? It's not binary. It's not like, oh, we are landing 100% in the spam or not. It's basically how much are you landing in spam. And to reduce that, you want to increase your senior reputation, which you can see here. There are scorecards. So a +1 and a -1. Let's go through that so you can definitely know what to do next time when you hit the spam folder. So +1s, so everything that strengthens your senior reputations are opens, clicks, if someone marks as important, replies, and also forwarded emails. Everything that is a -1 are bounces, marked as spam, not opening, not clicking, some spam words, and unsubscribes. So those, not so good. This, very, very good. So this is kind of the entire strategy boiled down to just two things. Do less of these, do more of those. But let's actually look at how to do that. So here, another example, as I said, Sweat and Milk, we went from 70% to 60%, but that's something for another video. Three main things I want to cover here are the technical setup, the ongoing protocol to follow, and knowing your numbers. Let's talk a little bit about the technical setup. So one of the technical setups is list cleaning in and of itself. And this is something that I do not see very often when it comes to the accounts that we audit. Is first of all, the sunset unengagement flow. It's not really super necessary nowadays because how Klaviyo used to charge was based on profiles. So the sunset unengagement flow actually make you more money because you could actually save on the plans on Klaviyo. But nowadays it's more so to not have them in the campaign setup because then you're sending to those people who are unengaged. So what we do in the sunset unengagement flow, which I will cover, or maybe I already have a video on that uploaded, but basically it's once someone has a dedicated amount of emails that were getting, but they didn't open in a period of time, they get into this flow, and then if they still didn't interact with one of these emails in this flow, then they're pretty much suppressed. So that's the sunset unengagement flow. Another segment that you want to exclude from every email that you're sending to. I know we are pretty aggressive here, but we do not want to mess around here. The first one is if someone received more than, and then you can put in whatever number you want, but we usually play around with like 15. So if they receive more than 15 emails, You can also do 10, you can also do 35, depending on whatever you prefer. But if they receive more than 15, but they have opened not a single one, the likelihood of them open the 16th are very, very low. So that's why we want to exclude them. Another segment that we exclude usually all the time when it comes to campaigns is if an email bounced one time, if they marked our email as spam, or if the email dropped. That's pretty aggressive, but that's what we do to ensure the best deliverability that we can get. So this is list cleaning. Now let's take a look at DNS setups and stuff like that. So I do have video tutorials about the dedicated sending domain. I do have a video tutorial about the DMARC DNS records. Now let's take a look at why and how to set it up and what is the dedicated sending domain. So a dedicated sending domain, if you're still sending from Klaviyo and it looks like something like this, I'm waving here, this is not very good. So move to a dedicated sending domain, check out some of my other videos. I have a tutorial about that in great detail. Another one, you need to have the DMARC setup. These are all kind of requirements when it comes to Google and Yahoo changes. So DMARC setup, have another dedicated video on that. You don't want to do too much in this video. Then another one, which is in the Google and Yahoo requirements, is spam rate below 0.0% at 0.03%. So this is something that you need to pay attention to. You can check within Klaviyo, there's something called Deliverability, and you can just click there and then check your spam rates. And that's very, very good. So this is the technical setup and like all the numbers and stuff. Now let's take a look at how to actually find out that you're, or like where your emails land. So what you can do is you can just type in glocapps.com, and this is what we use. This is like pretty much the first step for all of the accounts. We just go on Glock Apps and send one out, and then we can actually take a look at the deliverability. Are we landing in spam? Where are we landing in spam? And then we can adjust our protocol that we follow. So we do that, and then we basically see, for example, Gmail has some issues, or Hotmail has some issues, or Outlook has some issues, and then we can basically work with that. Now let's take a look at what can we do. Now we know, okay, the technical setup, I've done the dedicated sending domain, I've done the DMARC, I adjusted my spam rate, I took a look, I know the numbers, I did my list cleaning, and I'm still landing in spam. And what can I do? I checked Glock Apps, they say I'm in spam. What can I do? I understood, okay, I need to do some stuff of this, and I should do less of these, but let me show you a protocol that you can step-by-step follow. So the first one is whitelist instruction campaigns. Those are super, super powerful, especially if you pair them with like a giveaway. Is what you basically do is you send out an email and you incentivize people to reply to your email, which is super, super great when it comes to deliverability, because a reply and a marked as important are kind of the biggest indicators for sender reputation. So if you get a lot of replies, this is wonderful. If you get a lot of, marked as important, those are wonderful. So what we do is we actually do a giveaway and send it out to the entire list and say, hey, mark this email as important, favorites, hit the star icon and reply with, and then whatever they should reply with. And then you're basically part of this giveaway. And this bumps up the deliverability a lot, like seriously a lot. And this is what we usually run pretty much after Black Friday and Cyber Monday and before Black Friday and Cyber Monday. First of all, to boost deliverability, and then also to, get back to our heights, because after Black Friday, everything is a bit messy. So yeah, that's that. Another thing that you can do is you can mix plain text and design emails. That's just, if you actually take a look at what Google and all these providers say, they usually prefer a good mix and not just design only emails. So usually people, they say 65-35 or something like 70-30 or 60-40 mix. But we do in our whole marketing mix is leveraging plain text emails, because frankly, they work. They are super, super profitable, and they also boost deliverability and have open rates higher than the design one. So yeah, might be worth testing to mix plain text and design emails. Next one is send consistently and frequently at the same time and days each week. This is not necessary, but the consistent part is here what should be. You should not do like 4 campaigns per week and then stop for a week, and then 3 campaigns per week, stop for a week, stop for a month, blast an entire month every other day. This is not really good. Like, you want to keep consistent here, so do like 2 campaigns per week, 3 campaigns per week, 1 campaign per week. It's already enough, but just keep the consistency here. So what is our back to health protocol? First of all, once you realize you're in the spam folder after checking Glock Apps, you should hit super tight segments. So what we do if we have an account that has all of that set up, we do the whitelist, and then what we do is we reduce the engaged segment to like super highly engaged, like 14 days engaged, 7-day buyers, 7-day engaged, subscribed within the last 7 days, something like that, to really have everyone who's like super into the brand right now. because we need high open rates on a consistent basis to send a good indicator for these SPs. So, and that's what we do for at least 30 days. We also start implementing plain text emails because, you know, not all of your email have to be designed and image heavy. If you have access to a good copywriter, which we do, plain text emails can also print a lot of money and they also inbox well. And then what you do is you actually slowly start hitting larger segments. So you do like 7-day buyer, 7-day buyer, 7-day buyer, 14 days engaged, 14 days engaged, 40 days engaged. And then, you know, after 30 to 45 days, you then go into 60 days engaged and then slowly ramp it up like 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, and then you slowly go, and then, you know, wherever you end up is wherever you want to. And then eventually, as I said, you can go back to hitting the whole list once or twice a week, maybe once or twice a month. It should be better here because we do not want to have those list plans all the time because they usually are not that good and not that healthy for your list. So this is basically everything you need to know about deliverability. So you know the technical setups, the DNS records to set up, the dedicated sending domain, you know the segmentation that you want to exclude, you know how sending reputation works, you know what to do on email level, you also know the ins and outs when it comes to segmentation strategies, you also know whitelisting, you know what is good for your sender reputation, you know what bad. And if you implement all of that, you will get out of spam because that's what we usually do for all of our clients and did that a couple of times now. A little bonus hack, if this is still not working and you want to push it to the next level, is something that we utilize. It's basically a mission statement below the unsubscribe block. And I'm not 100% sure whether I should share that because that's a bit gray hat and it's like from the affiliate work. But basically, if you do that and have the mission statement here, it actually bumps up the percentage of text to image ratio. And that way, you know, you will end up in the inbox and not, for example, in the primary folder because, you know, it's basically a mission statement, it's a lot of tags, it's not salesy, so you actually end up in the inbox. So I hope this video and this little nugget was of value to you. If you want us to handle all of that, make sure to schedule your call, and then I see you in some of the next videos. Take care. I hope this deliverability protocol video was of value to you. Definitely make sure to implement all of that. If you want us to help you with that, make sure to schedule your free audit. There's a link in the description that you can click on, gets you to my scheduler. We have a super casual conversation. By the end, you will definitely know the step-by-step strategy on how to get to the next level, email related. So what are you waiting for? Other than that, make sure to check some other videos out, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Take care.